tonight's video, we'll be looking at scary and creepy true crime TikToks that you should not watch before bed. Billy Davis, huh?
I don't even have to have a hook for this story as it left me speechless. Hi, my name is Ethan and here's everything you need to know in under 1 minute. This is 56-year-old Billy Davis. On the evening of January 11th, 2023, she was riding the Bloomington Transit bus when an 18-year-old girl had got out of her seat to exit. Out of nowhere, Billy got up and then began beating and stabbing the 18-year-old girl in the head.
Whoa.
As soon as it started, it stopped. Billy then got off the bus and walked away. Thankfully, one of the passengers on the bus did follow Billy and eventually called authorities to let them know where her location was. This is the part that really enraged me. Once in custody, she told police that she wanted to unalive the victim due to her, quote, being Chinese, as it would be one less person to blow up the country, end quote. According to reports...
It's really people out here like that, y'all. You gotta protect yourself at all times, man.
She's now facing up to life in prison for attempted murder.
Did you know that this movie was allegedly inspired by a disturbing true crime case? The Wu family in Kaohsiung, Taiwan believed they were possessed by religious deities. There are very few sources that are translated into English, so I'm not sure of the full details of the story. But allegedly in 2005, the family believed they were cursed and began accusing each other of being possessed by various demons. To get rid of these demons, they stopped eating, began beating each other, burned their skin with incense, and force-fed each other feces. Within a month, their 28-year-old daughter died from exhaustion and multiple organ failure. The family was convinced that it wasn't their daughter who was dying, but the demon who possessed her, so they didn't get her medical help. They were all sent for psychiatric evaluation and diagnosed with shared delusional disorder and hysteria. And the remaining 5 members of the family were indicted on reckless endangerment. If you guys saw this movie, let me know what you thought.
Yo, like, that is just crazy. What made them believe that everyone in their family was just like a demon? I wonder what they was doing to make them want to do these rituals. You know what I'm saying? Eating feces? Ugh, come on, man. I don't care. I don't care. Look, if I'm possessed by a demon, y'all, and y'all say, hey, man, we got to feed you these feces to get that demon out. Look, I don't care. It's demon time from now on, because leave that away.
If you're not following this Zachariah Anderson case, but you're into true crime, do yourself a favor by first of all looking into it, and second of all listening to me, because I'm going to give you a quick rundown. So basically, he's on trial for murder. He is accused of murdering his ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend. He was allegedly using his daughter to spy on his ex-girlfriend, and essentially he ends up, like I said, killing the new boyfriend.
It's too crazy.
The thing that you should watch, most definitely, is the daughter's testimony. And she's 14 years old, so it's not funny by any means that she's up there. It's absolutely tragic that she had to deal with the alarming things she did at the ages that she did. But listening to her absolutely roast her dad with zero effort is so fucking satisfying and funny. The prosecutor will be like, who was driving you on that day in the van? And she's like, the defendant. And it's like about her dad. It's like she just calls him the defendant. She's so deadpan. Like, I am living for how she's just crucifying him. So if you like true crime, like I said, look into the Zachariah Anderson story.
Never heard of Zachariah Anderson. What about you guys? I haven't.
One day I get a phone call, and they said, Sandy, we found your granddaughter, but we're not sure which one. And I said, Bella's a little taller. She's pretty slimmer. She don't get a little belly. And if you pull her hair up a little bit, because I do their hair, and it would be so long, and then I realized all the oil, they would never know. So they said, who's the one that wears a pull-up? And I said, that would be Cece. They said, well, then we have Cece. And I said, well, keep going. I said, find my Bella. And 2 hours later, they did.
It was 2 hours later that they said they had found
she was
Bella.
at the bottom of the drum. and their skin was falling off as they were trying to get them out. Everybody needed so much therapy after that. Our, our hearts just go out to all of them.
This is one of the most
Like, that is just so messed up. I honestly, I don't know what goes through the minds of these people. Man, y'all, I usually do videos that up your vibration, but this one's kind of sad. So if you don't want to tune in for the rest of the video, I 100% am okay with that. You know, just make sure you watch my next video. But, man, this is sad.
disgusting and evil cases I've heard of recently. On the 7th of December 2017, teacher Thelma Boinville was desperately trying to make some extra money. She was doing a cleaning job to earn extra money for her family, and the job suited her as her 8-year-old could come along and play while she worked. This was really handy as it meant she didn't have to fork out for childcare. She set out cleaning some holiday homes on the day in question, and her daughter waited in the car. The spot was a lovely scenic place called Kelky Beach. However,
First off, I'm pretty sure that's already against the law. Like, you can't leave your child in the car. So, she already messed up.
instead of walking in on a normal holiday rental to clean, she walked into a nightmare. Stephen Brown and his girlfriend, Haley Dangerand, were in the middle of robbing the place. They were scouring through drawers and wardrobes, hunting for valuables to steal. With Thelma walking in, their plan had been foiled. They decided they needed to dispose of their only witness. The evil pair tied up the mother, whose daughter waited unsuspectingly in the car outside. They used a machete, a knife, and a hammer to murder the innocent woman. But the horror was far from over. They exited the holiday home and came across Thelma's young daughter waiting in the car. They callously told the young girl, "We killed your mum," and then bound her up and gagged her. Sickeningly, they then took the 8-year-old into the home where they'd killed her mum and left her there tied up. The 2 Australian tourists who were renting the holiday home then came back and found the crime scene. The 2 killers were tracked down hours later in Thelma's car, which they'd stolen and driven off in. Haley was actually wearing her victim's earrings at the time. They actually begged for the officers to just shoot them and end their lives, but they wouldn't get away that easily. Thelma's husband, Kevin, wasn't actually allowed to see his wife's body due to the extent of her injuries. The autopsy revealed that she'd fought for her life, with many defensive wounds indicating a struggle. Since the murder, Stephen and Haley have both tried to blame each other. Stephen was found guilty of second-degree murder and apparently showed no emotion as the verdict was read out. Haley is currently awaiting trial.
Did you know that a man
Sickos.
recently faked a live stream to create an alibi so he could murder a pregnant woman? On December 18th, 2022, Natalie McNally, a 32-year-old who was 15 weeks pregnant, was brutally murdered in what lawyers are calling a sophisticated, calculating, and cool-headed plot. On December 19th, 2022, Stephen McCullough notified authorities after finding a gory scene at Natalie's home in a delightful residential neighborhood in Northern Ireland. Stabbed 18 times, she and her son in utero, whom her family are now calling Baby Dean, were dead. McCullough was arrested that same day but quickly ruled out as a suspect. The 32-year-old YouTuber had an alibi for the night of her murder, a 6-hour-long live stream playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City for his channel of about 37,000 subscribers. He had texted Natalie telling her about the live stream that afternoon and promoted it publicly on his social media, calling it the Violent Night Christmas live gaming stream. Despite having an alibi, detectives were unconvinced. Detective Chief Inspector Neil McGuinness thought there was something fishy about Stephen's live stream, saying he spoke throughout, continually, but did not speak to the people who were responding live, citing,
I feel like I already know what happened. This guy, he live streamed a pre-recorded video thinking that he was going to, you gotta watch everybody out here, man. This dude's a YouTuber. People watching him. He's low-key a murderer. Like, what the fuck? What is Mr. Beast?
technical issues as an excuse for his limited interactions. Then, detectives became aware that you could pre-record and stream as if live. Game changer. Because next, a team of cyber experts examined the footage and Stephen's devices and declared that the footage had been pre-recorded. Bingo. McCullough was re-arrested on January 31st, 2023, at which point he conceded in a written statement to police that he pre-recorded the live stream on December 13th and 14th and streamed it the night of the 18th. However, he maintains his innocence and says the night of the murder he was drinking alone in his home and fell asleep. But A combination of CCTV evidence and witness testimony of Stephen's whereabouts that night would point to the contrary. CCTV footage shows a man officials believe is Stephen boarding a bus heading towards Natalie's home. In the video, the man is seen wearing a distinctive yellow glove underneath a black glove while passing change to the bus driver. Detectives say the yellow glove is consistent with traces of a marigold-colored cleaning glove found in Natalie's blood spatter at the crime scene. Moreover, a taxi driver confirmed that Stephen arrived at his home by taxi at about 11:13 p.m. that night. This timing would corroborate another important piece of evidence. Detectives found no activity on Stephen's phone between 6 p.m. and 11:16 p.m. the night of the murder. 3 minutes between when the taxi reportedly dropped him off and use on his phone began. If it's a coincidence, it's a wild one. But lawyers say some of the most chilling evidence that Stephen is capable of deception beyond imagination is his continued interference with Natalie's family in the wake of her death. He only met them briefly twice before, but when he came to their home, they welcomed him in. And he was caught leaving his phone there on purpose, during which time he recorded 40 minutes of audio. Detectives believe the invasion of privacy was an attempt to inquire into the progress of the police investigation and to see whether there's any suspicions around him. The effort certainly backfired. Lawyers urged the judge to refuse Stephen's bail for fear of further tampering with witnesses, a request the judge granted. The judge said of the case that at present mostly hangs on the fact that the live stream was not actually a live stream. And I quote, "I don't know that I've ever come across a case that is so complex. That if the police are right, this was a cold-blooded attack which was meticulously planned with absolutely tragic consequences. And in all the circumstances, I also am concerned about the issues which the prosecution are concerned with. The risk of further offending if he can carry out an attack like this, if the police case is right, then who knows what else he is capable of." The case is still ongoing, and as the trial continues to unfold, Natalie's family have asked to grieve privately. They say of this difficult period, the bottom has fallen out of our world. I don't see any future anymore. But they also hope to use our platform to call for an immediate end to violence against women and girls.
What is up with these people, man? The world is just crazy. You know, like, the minds of some people, you'll never understand it, in all honesty. These are some of the most scary and creepy true crime TikToks that you could find on the internet, guys. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.